And this brings me to the best film of 2021. As theatres slowly reopened and closed again, most films in 2021 opted for an OTT release. There weren't many fantastic films in Bollywood in 2021, but there were still a few standout performers. We have already celebrated the end of the year, which means there has been a plethora of year-end lists to go through, and to go with tradition, I've also compiled my list of the 10 best Bollywood films of the year. The selection of films this year was considerably less than in previous years, but the handful I have chosen for you guys are well worth your time and attention. So, without further delay, let's get started. At number 10 is the quirky but emotional Ram Prasad Ki Teravi, directed by Seema Pahwa and based on her own play Pind Daan. It is a delightful film with an outstanding ensemble. After Ram Prasad, the family patriarch, passes away, his entire family gathers under one roof for the following 13 days to observe his final rites. Each character embarks on their own journey during this period, arguing and bonding over family politics and shared memories. Watch it for some fun-filled and emotional moments that hit the right notes, especially if you happen to be familiar with North Indian traditions. And of course, the ensemble cast is just excellent, led by the formidable Supriya Pathak. At number 9 is the highly overlooked Sandeep or Pinky Farrar. Parineeti Chopra and Arjun Kapoor play two fugitives on the run due to circumstances beyond their control in this black comedy directed by ace director Dibakar Banerjee. Without being didactic or stagey, this slow burn offers a smart perspective on class strife and apparent socio-economic disparities. Parineeti Chopra is from the high crust of the banking world, while Arjun Kapoor is from the lower crust. As the tainted corporate boss, Parineeti Chopra shines in her role, while Arjun Kapoor's character follows a more straightforward arc. In the most fun and wicked way, Dibakar Banerjee has examined the dark side of humanity motivated by greed and want. The film is well worth your time if you appreciate the genre and Dibakar Banerjee's indisputable talent. At number 8 is Sherni, directed by Amit Masurkar, who previously directed the award-winning Newton and stars Vidya Balan. Vidya, a forest officer, is tasked with restraining a man-eating tigress that roams free in a rural village. Vidya Balan plays a steady and dignified forest officer in this environmental thriller which tackles forest politics and the challenges faced by tribals who live in jungles. The movie paints a somber image and raises some troubling concerns about man's relationship with his environment. Watch it for its powerful message and understated direction, as well as the acting, which makes it one of the finest Bollywood films of 2021. At number 7 is Bob Biswas, the spin-off to the 2011 hit Kahani. After 8 years in a coma due to injuries suffered in a terrible accident shown in Kahani, Bob Biswas, this time played by Abhishek Bachchan, is discharged from the hospital. However, he has no memory of his wife Mary or their children, son Benny and daughter Minnie, from Mary's previous marriage. Before he even gets to settle down into his newfound life, Bob is forcibly taken away by some shady cops and effectively ordered to return to work as an assassin. He unwittingly becomes a part of the Kolkata underground and gets involved in the schemes of drug traffickers, corrupt cops and their henchmen. Watch the film for its dark humor, some wonderfully quirky characters, the use of atmospheric Kolkata as the film's backdrop, and Abhishek Bachchan's central performance, which is quite good. At number 6 is Ranjit M. Tiwari's Bell Bottom, which stars Akshay Kumar in the titular role. The film is set in the year 1984 with the hijacking of an Indian Airlines flight by some terrorists. A high-level meeting begins between the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi and her core cabinet ministers to discuss their next move. Research and Analysis Wing Chief Santook informs the Prime Minister that one of his agents, who goes by the code name Bell Bottom, has been studying hijacking for the last 2 years. And from that point onwards, a cat and mouse game ensues between RAW, led by Bell Bottom, and the Pakistani ISI, which controls the terrorists. Bell Bottom is a quintessential Bollywood masala movie, but let that not dissuade you. It's Masala 2.0 in the sense that everything's polished and an upgrade from the bad masala films that ruined the genre from the 80s onwards. Despite being low on the action quotient, it finds its thrills in a tactical game of cat and mouse that seems real and rooted. There is no jingoistic messaging, no chest-thumping monologues to cheapen the build-up, and its atmosphere and world building are worthy of high praise. Just like the style statement from the 70s and the early 80s, Bell Bottom is a slick genre film that's well worth a watch. Before we go ahead, I'd like to say thank you to all my viewers who are still watching. I know it's super annoying to hear the words like and subscribe, but that's the only way I get to know that I'm on the right path. So, dear viewers, only and only if you think my videos add some value to your time, please smash the like and subscribe buttons. Moving on, at number 5 is Vishnu Vardhan's Sher Shah, starring Siddharth Malhotra and Kiara Advani. Sher Shah, the film begins in the middle of its narrative. Captain Vikram Batra, along with his troop members, is trying to capture Point 5140, a strategic location that's about 17,000 feet above sea level. Vikram Batra launches a grenade that hits the target, and from that point on, we are pushed into a flashback sequence that covers Vikram Batra's journey up to this point. The film covers Vikram Batra's background, his love for the military, and ultimately his final act of bravery that led him being awarded the Paramveer Chakra. Watch it for Vishnu Vardhan's direction, which is quite good. He captures the intensity of the battlefield so well that we can feel the chaos and destruction caused by warfare from close quarters. As an action set piece, the film deserves high praise. I was also surprised by Siddharth Malhotra's performance and his dialogue delivery, which conveyed a charming portrait of Vikram Batra. At number 4 is Abhishek Kapoor's Chandigarh Kare Aashiqui, starring Ayushmann Khurrana and Vaani Kapoor. In the film, Ayushmann Khurrana plays a fitness freak who owns a gym. He's also a part-time bodybuilder who competes in the local bodybuilding championship. His gym business, though, is running on thin ice until Vaani Kapoor comes in as a new Zumba instructor. It doesn't take long for sparks to fly between the two, but there is more to Vaani than what meets the eye. Chandigarh Kare Aashiqui is an emotional yet upbeat 2-hour film that, despite its light-heartedness, manages to impart an important social message. It's another feather in the cap for Ayushmann, who is the heart and soul of the film. Vaani Kapoor's performance was also a surprise for me, and it reminds me of the promise she once displayed in Shuddh Desi Romance. Despite some genre cliches, I found myself rooting strongly for the film in the end. At number 3 is Vinyl Matthews' Haseen Dilruba, which stars Taapsee Pannu, Vikrant Massey and Harshvardhan Rane. The plot involves a small town called Jwalapur, where a Delhi-based girl finds it hard to adjust to the rhythms of her household chores and a husband who's a meek, docile nerd. Things come to a boil when his hunk of a cousin enters the scene and makes advances towards Taapsee, who does not hesitate to reciprocate his feelings. Like the fictitious Hindi pulp novelist quoted in the film, Dinesh Pandit, this is a film that reads like a pulp novel that's hard to put down once you get started. It's a welcome addition to the Desi film noir genre, and it certainly deserves a watch for its unpredictable twists and turns, its genuine attempts at finding humor in a small town setting, for its crisp and funny dialogues, the excellent supporting cast, and Vikrant Massey's brilliant performance. At number 2 is Kabir Khan's 83, which stars Ranveer Singh as Kapil Dev and a whole list of supporting actors who play the parts of Kapil's Devils, who won the 1983 World Cup. It's a moving testament to how a determined group of nobodies overcame a formidable opponent on the cricket field and earned respect for the country outside. Director Kabir Khan brings one of India's legendary sporting achievements to life, backing it up with careful research. He reconstructs the real-life uplifting story in a way that should appeal to both the cricket-crazy public and also people who know nothing about the game. The film recreates moments of sporting brilliance as well as tender moments involving team members and the bond they shared during the tournament. Watch it for goosebump-inducing cricketing moments recreated perfectly on screen and fantastic acting by the film's entire cast. And this brings me to the best film of 2021. The best film of the year is Shujit Sarkar's Sardar Udham, starring Vicky Kaushal. Sardar Udham Singh, a revolutionary freedom fighter who assassinated Michael O'Dwyer to avenge the 1919 Jallianwala Bagh massacre in Amritsar, is the subject of this biography. The film follows his journey from being an orphan to becoming a prominent political martyr. Vicky Kaushal in the title role is fantastic as Udham Singh. Shujit Sarkar's direction is masterful, and even though there are some grey spots in this rousing biopic, the overall experience is one of a kind. The recreation of the Jallianwala Bagh massacre is such a poignant moment that the film deserves a spot in the top 10 just for that scene alone. Watch it for the film's quiet but unmistakable patriotism and a peek into our history that's bound to stir up emotions in even the most calm and composed individuals. So that's a wrap, guys, and I hope you've enjoyed listening to my list. Let me know in the comments below what are your choices for the best films. If you think this video was helpful, please smash the like and subscribe buttons and hit the bell icon to get notified for future reviews. See you guys in the next one.